Chapter 5: How to Get Users and Grow.
Hi Liam, what kept you?
I've just come back from a meeting with my investors. They gave the green light, so we'll be launching the company today. We're way ahead of schedule thanks to your advice, and everyone's super excited to get started.
Wow, I bet you are. It's good that I'm here then, because today I wanted to ask you about your growth strategy.
Growth strategy? What's that?
Whoa, wait a second. Don't you have a plan in place for how you're going to build your user base?
No. I was just kind of thinking people would find us and love the app.
Oh dear, we've got lots to cover. Are you ready?
Sure.
Firstly, the golden rule is this: retention equals growth. Most businesses monitor monthly active users as their primary growth metric, and it's important to realize from the get-go that users who download the app may not use it more than once. That's why metrics like total downloads or revenue earned aren't indicative of current status. With monthly active users being monitored, you could have someone download the app on day 1 and then never use it again. They register as a positive on your metrics, but then when it comes to the next month, they'll register as a negative. And by that time, it's too late to do anything about it.
Oh no, I never thought of that.
It's super important to be aware of these negative impacts. A great equation for mapping growth is this. Ready? New users minus churning users plus resurrecting users equals net growth.
That sounds complex. What are churning and resurrecting users?
Some users will leave forever and never use the app. Those are churning users. Some users will not use the app for a few months and then might come back. Those are resurrecting users. It sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple. And it's important to know because those resurrecting users are the key to retention.
How so?
Well, you can ask them why they left in the first place and then what brought them back. That will give you a good idea of the negative and plus points of your app. You need to be continually getting feedback in order to eliminate that jumping off point.
Jumping off point?
The jumping off point is the exact moment when users think this isn't worth it and then leave the app for good. It could be for 100 different reasons, but addressing them will help with retention. Inversely, you also need to think about your magic moment.
Wait a second. Jumping off point? Magic moment? This is getting serious. Let me write this down.
The magic moment is that 1 second where your users are hooked. On Facebook, it could be your first friend. On eBay, selling your first item. Or on Airbnb, booking your first apartment. Whatever it is, there will be a magic moment for your app too. Perhaps it's going to be the first time that a user finds a place to work and goes there. For growth and retention to work hand in hand, you need to be focused on eliminating jumping off points, as well as getting users to your magic moment as quickly as possible.
That makes sense, but how do I get users in the first place?
It's important to have this stuff done first, so you can keep new users when you have them. Once people lose faith in something, they're pretty much guaranteed to never come back.
Okay, that's fair. But once that's sorted, how do I find new users?
There are a few ways. First is friends and family. Get your friends and family using the app by asking them to. They'll be your first call, and they'll also give you the best advice on what they do and don't like. After that, it's targeted marketing, which is things like emailing specific lists of people who may be interested in your app. Then you've got PR campaigns with things like newsletters, paid advertising, and that sort of thing. But the key element to it all is facilitating organic growth. You have to make people love your app enough to talk about it and share it without being asked to.
And then keep them by giving them the magic moment.
You've got it. Keeping track of your retention figures is a great way to keep growth on the rise. Mapping your retention figures, how many users you keep versus how many you lose, will help you predict the lifetime value of your customers, as well as give you a baseline for detecting whether a change in the product is a good thing or a bad thing. If you change the interface and your retention figures go up, it means people like it. See?
Yes, I do. Tell me more.
As a startup, all employees should be really concerned about growth, no matter their role. Everyone should be focused on getting new users and keeping the old. You need to be able to make concise, leading decisions to keep things moving, and the best way to do that is with data. Make calls based on hard facts and figures, because they don't lie. They'll also allow you to predict future trends and plan ahead. Individual figures can be misleading, but growth curves mapped on a graph can't be argued with. And using them to make decisions means you can't be argued with either.
Anything else?
Yes, organic growth is important too, but can't be forced, only helped. That's when people talk about your product or find you themselves. Having great SEO, along with SEO-driven content on your website, can be a great advantage over competitors. You need to be thinking about the sorts of people who want your app and then crafting your marketing to them.
Demographics, you mean?
Demographics are specific groups of people that are marketed to based on age, gender, occupation, that sort of thing. A lot of companies miss out by marketing to demographics, not behavioral groups. For example, with men's tennis shoes, you may think that men would be the only ones buying them. That's a demographic. But what about at Christmas? Girlfriends buy for boyfriends, mothers for sons. By judging your users in a demographic sense, you'll be missing out. Judge based on behavior, and you'll market to a much wider range of people. Do you know who buys tennis shoes, Liam?
No, who?
People who want to buy tennis shoes.
Okay, Emma, I get it now. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. Hi, Liam. I've got some questions for you. Are you ready?
I sure am.
Okay, great. Question 1. What is a magic moment? A, the first time you see a sunset. B, the first time you fall in love. C, receiving a letter for Hogwarts. D, the moment that users fall in love with your app.
It's D, right?
Bingo. That's right. Users need to have a magic moment to be retained. It's your job to get them there as quickly as possible. Question 2. Why do we need to map data in graphs and curves? A, because they look neat. B, because curves accurately predict the future of the business. C, because curves are sexy. D, because we learned to make graphs in school, and it's important to use that knowledge.
Well, I think I've got to go with B.
Yes, apart from being the best way to view large spreads of data, curves and graphs can accurately predict the future by being followed beyond current data. Okay, last one. Question 3. Why is retention as important as growth? A, because keeping existing customers puts less pressure on finding new customers. B, because new customers are more likely to download an app with lots of active users. C, because retained customers gives a great indication of how the company is doing. D, all of the above.
They all sound important, so I'm going to say D.
And you'd be right to do so. Retention is really important, and even if you aren't attracting new customers, if you keep your old ones, you'll still be able to grow. Losing lots of customers means that you constantly have to find new customers to cover losses, which is tough going. Keep your existing customers happy, and your business will flourish.
Thanks, Emma. You've been a huge help.